Going live in 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, I look so terrible.
I hate this. I think somebody's coming in.
And messing with my painting because it always gets crooked somehow. How you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of It's a Matter of Life or Death. I am your host, Josue. Even though I don't seem that way just because I haven't shaved, it's been a rough time. My barber is actually on vacation. I'm not saying that my barber shaves me, but usually he cleans it up and then I just have to maintain it. But anyways, by next week, I'm gonna be all cleaned up. And also because it is World Cup week. Woo, 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 woo. Can't wait, everybody. It's been 4 years since the last World Cup happened. I think last time the World Cup happened, I was already working for CCCS, and I was also excited for it. I was also talking about it. If you guys are familiar with the World Cup, it happens every 4 years. Tickets are kind of expensive just because they're in America. It's actually in three countries. It's in Canada, United States, and Mexico. So technically North America. But tickets are kind of expensive. So luckily, I was able to snag them when FIFA did their raffle. So I was able to pick them up then, which is good because I paid retail price for them. So with that being said, if you guys are planning to go to the World Cup, please be mindful of your budgets, especially if you're buying the tickets resale. They are getting kind of expensive. Don't overextend. If you could buy them, great. If not, then just watch it from TV. There's literally every restaurant in the city of Chicago. I seen put some promotional stuff about showcasing the World Cup. So um, don't ever overextend yourself just for an event that you cannot make it to. Okay, welcome back. Another episode of It's a Matter of Life or Death. We are talking about reverse mortgages this month. If you aren't familiar with what a reverse mortgage is, I kind of gave a little intro last week. And also, I gave an intro in the month of January. So you guys could go back on our YouTube page and find those two videos. I won't give too much of an introduction today. I won't go too much into detail there. I don't have much to share with you guys today other than some qualifications for a reverse mortgage. So that'll definitely be something that we talk about. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. No events happening this weekend, I don't think. There's always a street festival, a town festival. I was at Greek Fest. Ooh. Excuse me, guys. That 5 p.m. feeling. I was at Greek Fest last week, so that's pretty good. Like I said, there's a fest every week of the summer. So check with your surrounding areas. Check with your neighborhood. Check in your neighborhood should definitely have like a web page. So for example, my parents live in Melrose Park, so they have a Melrose Park that, or I don't know what that. Let me see. Actually, I can look it up. Melrose Park Village. Yeah, melrosepark.org. You see, it's something as simple as that. You guys could definitely, if you live in Elmhurst, I'm pretty sure it's going to be elmhurst.org. St. Charles, McHenry, Crystal Lake, all of that. Google it. They should definitely have like an events thing. Definitely, like if I click on the Village of Melrose Park right now, and for Chicago, it's the same thing, chicago.org. Luckily, the condominium I live at, the HOA puts this weekly events kind of thing together that it's happening, so I get those through them. But yeah, see, I opened up the Village of Melrose Park, best area for first-time homebuyers. That's pretty cool. They have a public hearing about zoning, info on taste of Melrose Park. You see, it's already there. 2026 Melrose Park garage sale dates. So definitely it's worth the read if you guys aren't familiar with you guys' neighborhood village website. It is very informational, especially if you have to pay for parking. You're definitely gonna find some information there. Like I said, the street festivals. What else? Oh, a lot of free community resources. What I mean by like free community resources, sometimes villages have buses that are free, not only for elderly people but just for residents. I know the village. I don't know if it's Des Plaines. I think it's Des Plaines, where Golf Mill Mall was at, the one that they're tearing down now. They had free buses that'll take you to the mall because there's a Pace bus stop right there. So free buses that would go around Des Plaines and that would take you to the mall. That would be available for all Des Plaines residents. I'm pretty sure it was Des Plaines. I can't remember, but those are kind of some free resources that you could find in your village website. Definitely, it's worth it for those people that are thinking of a reverse mortgage because in a reverse mortgage, kind of like we talked about last week, you got to figure out if it's worth it, if it's worth you staying in the house. If it's not worth you staying in the house, then you kind of are better off selling it. You know, if you're in a house where you get free transportation, because for example, the village of Melrose Park, I know they do free transportation for elderly individuals that need to get to doctor's appointments. We could just set that up with the village of Melrose Park, and they would pick up my parents and they would take them to their appointment if need be. But my parents are still driving, so they don't necessarily take advantage of that resource. But there's resources like that out there, you know. Definitely, it's worth to check it out. Like I said, you don't know what you need up until you need it, and unless you need something, then you're not searching for it. But at least now you kind of have a guide for it. God forbid an accident happens and you need to start going to the doctor, and there's nobody to give you a ride. Well, then maybe check the village website. So that kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about last week about reverse mortgages. Reverse mortgages is a program designed to help people stay in their house, especially towards the end of their lifespan. Because at the end of their lifespan, either they're just surviving off of retirement income or retirement income plus Social Security income, or maybe a combination of both, or maybe just one. However, towards the end of the lifespan, that income just gets more and more limited because usually once you're, again, towards the end, you don't work anymore. You know, both of my parents. I'm not saying they're near the end, but they're done working. They're not working anymore. Like my mom literally just stopped working last week, and now they just get to live out their lives. And if their paycheck is not cutting it for them, then we have to look for other options. And we talked about some of those other options last week, such as like moving in with family members, caregivers, or maybe those assisted living spaces. But anyways, those are options that you could look into instead of a reverse mortgage. However, the first thing you should definitely be doing is schedule an appointment with our counselors, because our counselors will definitely help you understand that as well. They'll help you identify your needs, identify what needs are being met in your current residence, and then maybe help you kind of list out pros and cons about maybe staying there long term and then entering a reverse mortgage, or maybe just like is maybe not even necessary to do that. So super important. Just come talk to our counselors. You got to understand our counselors are great. They will not only give you very unbiased and non-judgmental advice. I like to say non-judgmental because no matter what you're going through financially, finances are already tough topics for people to discuss, especially if finances are already a tough topic for people to discuss, especially if you're struggling with finances. So whenever you talk to somebody about finances, you expect them to like give you unbiased and opinions without judging you. And our counselors are very good at doing that. They've heard all kinds of social stories and they've gone through some financial troubles themselves. So just know that we're a not-for-profit agency and we've been around for more than 40, 50 years now. And there's a reason why, you know? So definitely give them a chance, and they'll walk you through if the reverse mortgage is right for you or if it isn't. Like the title and the description says, some qualifications about a reverse mortgage. See, that's the thing. So reverse mortgages, they take into consideration what's it called? Let me see. I have it here in my notes. So it all depends because one thing that they calculate is where is it in my notes? Sorry. Expectancy of life. So the lenders, they calculate expectancy of life, and based on your expectancy of life is what you could qualify for. So principal limit. This is how you qualify for reverse mortgage. First, you at least need to be 62 years or older, at least one homeowner. So, for example, if you're in a residence with your offspring, and because a lot of people do that, a lot of people either co-sign for their offspring or vice versa, their offspring co-signs for the parent, because then they get more favorable interest, or maybe there is just a single parent in them and they go into a house together. Whatever the reason may be, at least one homeowner needs to be 62 years old or of age or older, because again, what the bank is going to do is they're going to calculate your expectancy of living, your expectancy of life left. So, for example, 62, let's say they expect you to live to 90, that gives you 28 years of life, which in theory, if you think about it, that's a mortgage. You know, a mortgage is usually 30 years, 30-year mortgage. So if they give you 28 years of expectancy of expected life span remaining, then think about maybe what you're making a payment towards your mortgage today. That's how much you're getting paid from them monthly. Interest is going to vary again on that life expectancy as well. So keep that in mind, because in theory you're going to be creating a new mortgage for your next of kin whenever you do pass away or sell the residence. Especially if you decide to stay there up until you pass away. And then if that happens to be within those 27 or 28 years, you're creating another mortgage. So keep that in mind. At least 62 years or older. FHA requirements must be met on the house. If you have a mortgage, it's going to get rolled into it. Well, technically, you're going to be paying for it with the advances. So, for example, let's say you have $10,000 left on your mortgage and you qualify for a reverse mortgage. Their first $10,000 that you receive are going to be to pay out the mortgage, and that's going to be added to the loan. You could also, those are all the requirements I see. You definitely have to meet with a government-approved reverse mortgage counselor, which is us, and that's all. Yeah, that's all the qualifications I see. You could either get paid monthly. You could use it as a line of credit, where you could just take money out, and then why is this so like blurry? I don't like how my MacBook is like not capturing my face. The iPhone does a really good job. I wish I could I wish I could do vice versa. I could stream on Facebook on the MacBook and on YouTube on the phone, but it doesn't work that way. But anyways, you could get it in a line of credit, or you get monthly loan advances or monthly payments from the lender, or a combination of both. So keep that in mind. Again, super easy to qualify. You can definitely get into it. It might not be your only option. It might not be the best option, and it might not necessarily be the right option, if that makes sense. However, like I said, come talk to our counselors. They're really good at laying out all the options for you, and then just helping you understand all of the options before you make an educated decision on what you want to do. So that's basically all I have for you guys today, is the qualifications on a reverse mortgage. Next week, we're going to talk about how we can help, because you hear me say like, our counselors will give you the counseling session that you need. We'll give you a budget, but definitely we have other ways we could help. And there's also other ways that we could help when it comes to residencies. If you're looking to buy a house, we could help you get a budget together for that. We could also not only just help you get a budget together, but identify how much you can afford, maybe how much you should be getting into debt for, and maybe helping you construct a budget for that. Also preparing you for buying a home. With that being said, that's all I really had for you guys today. Definitely wanted to bring the World Cup to your radars, and then yeah, it's a matter of life or death. Definitely take care of yourself this week. It's gonna be a hot one out there. It's gonna be a humid one, because with all this rain and sun being mixed together, Definitely going to be humid. Be careful out this weekend. There's going to be a lot of people out there because of the World Cup, because of summer. Also, if you live in New York, be careful out there because then you have NBA Finals and the World Cup. It's just a lot of events going on in the summertime right now. Get out there, enjoy them, but enjoy them within your budget because nobody cares more about your money than you do. It's a matter of life or death. All right, guys? Take it easy. Fist bump. And that's all. See you. Have a good rest of your week. Take care. Adios. See you on Thursday in Espanol.